Hello everyone and welcome back. It is time to do a rather small reading wrap up. I thought it was time. This is June and July's non-self-published fantasy blog off reading combined. There's 5 books altogether. 2 of them are really quite long and I've decided it was time just to get these books done in a wrap up so I can put them on the shelf. I'm hoping that there's a wrap up in August, but there may not be. August may be combined with September's. It depends on how I get on with my last set of SPFBO reading, because I'm definitely going to be doing it all the way through August, but I think that September I'll have got to a point where I've finished the first round of books. So the first book I read is The Hollow Places by T. Kingfisher. Freshly divorced, Cara moves back in with her uncle, and one day she discovers an impossible space behind a wall in her uncle's shop. Deeper in, she finds the words "Pray that they are hungry" written on a wall. Further in, through a doorway, she finds a portal to countless other realities. The space is haunted by creatures that find you as you think about them, and you better pray that they are hungry. This was so deeply unsettling and creepy. I absolutely loved it. Mystery upon mystery, all the while being hunted. It's atmospheric and chilling. It was such a deeply disturbing read, but I really did enjoy it. I gave this 4 stars. I then finished Worlds Seen in Passing, 10 Years of Tor.com Short Fiction, edited by Irene Gallo. I had this on the go for a couple of months. It did take some doing. There's 40 short stories. It's a chunk of a book and the printing is tiny. I found that all the stories were of such high quality. I really enjoyed this, and this was a book I wanted to get finished before I got too deep into my SPFBO reading. I gave it 4 out of 5 altogether, and it's very, very shiny. I then read Shakedowners by Justin Woolley on my Kindle. After graduating bottom of his class, Captain Iridius Franklin hasn't quite had the glamorous career that he expected. Instead, he hauls cargo through the stars. He does have one talent, however. He's very, very good at breaking starships. After he and his crew are invited to shake down the new flagship, they return to Earth to discover things are not quite as they left them. I absolutely loved the crew dynamics in this one. A group of misfits, especially on a cargo ship and going on adventures, is something that I absolutely adore. It was quite funny at times, although I did feel that occasionally the humour was pushed a little bit too far to be made too obvious. The pacing was really good overall, but the middle did slow down a bit as things got a touch on the repetitive side. I really liked how the faster than light travel was built into the world. It really made sense in the universe that it was in. It was a lot of fun and I gave it 4 out of 5. Then my next physical read was Where Late the Sweet Birds Sang by Kate Wilhelm. The Sumner family can read the signs. The droughts, the floods, the failed crops, the shortages, the diseases, and the increasing sterility in the population. Their isolated farm gives them the space to survive, and their wealth gives them the means to do so. Men and women must clone themselves in order for mankind to survive. But what then? I really enjoyed this. The start was quite eerie, how watching things break down and just how quickly everything escalated. It had interesting characters throughout and a well-developed, if somewhat creepy, clone society. I also really enjoyed the exploration of the world left behind later on. A thoroughly absorbing read, and I also gave this one 4 out of 5. The final physical book I read was one I had been putting off, simply because I've now only got one culture book left to read. And this is Surface Detail, and this is the 9th culture book. It begins with a murder, and it will not end until the culture has gone to war with death itself. This is quite a hefty one. It's over 600 pages long, and there is a lot going on in this book. Lots of plots, lots of perspectives, and it can be quite chaotic at times. It was actually quite interesting to see the culture attempt to govern itself, deciding what it can and can't interfere with, and then basically the eccentric minds just doing whatever the hell they feel like. They really are something else entirely. It came together so well in the end though. I gave it 4 out of 5, and as I said, I now only have the Hydrogen Sonata left to read. So those are the physical books that I snuck in between my self-published fantasy blog off reading. I would love to know what you've read recently. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you all soon.